The English language is a living, breathing thing. Maybe not breathing, but it definitely grows and changes over time. For example, a movie might introduce a whole new word or expression that we've never used before, and then suddenly it's part of English.
Don't gaslight me.
Don't gaslight me.
Gaslighting doesn't exist, you made it up.
You keep using that word, gaslight.
And a lot of the time, your English teachers and textbooks will tell you grammar rules which either changed ages ago or just never existed. Have you heard the grammar rule, never end a sentence with a preposition?
Never end a sentence with a preposition.
Yeah, this rule never existed. It only exists in the minds of people who want to sound smart, but don't understand this rule. It comes from the Romans, and this rule, yeah, works really good in Latin. English, not so much. So a question like, who are you waiting for? Some people will say, that's wrong. You never end a sentence with a preposition. So, they move this preposition here. For whom are you waiting? We'll come back to whom later. But for now, like, why? This is not a better sentence. The grammar is correct, fine, but so was the other one. The only difference is this sounds more formal, which, yes, that's fine, but it's not better. And just one question, Romans. You wake up early in the morning and my alarm is going off. If English is your second language, to go off means a machine like your phone, computer, an alarm is making noise, usually for a notification or a signal. So this, how do we change this? Off my alarm is going. No, that sounds ridiculous. So this is where the rule never end a sentence with a preposition fails completely with phrasal verbs, because you can't separate this and then move the preposition to just anywhere. That's ridiculous and it doesn't make sense. I also have a whole video about this rule, you can watch it there, but honestly, you don't need this. You just watched me explain why this rule's stupid. So let's do the next one. Okay, conditionals. I will always teach the textbook way to beginners, just starting to learn English, because that makes sense. It's good to have a solid foundation and structure at beginner levels. However, when you become more advanced, when you actually go to England or the US or Australia, wherever speaks English, you start to realize English is full of contradictions and exceptions, and we break these grammar rules all the time. For example, right now I'm in London, but I miss Tokyo, to be honest. If I were in Tokyo right now, I would definitely eat a massive bowl of ramen. So yeah, I could say, if I were in Tokyo right now, I would get a massive bowl of ramen. And that's a textbook second conditional sentence. However, in natural conversations, we don't really say it like this. Commonly, we just say, if I was in Tokyo, I'd get a massive bowl of ramen. Textbook grammar says, if I, he, she, it were blah, blah, blah for a second conditional. However, commonly, yeah, we just use was. That is how we commonly use second conditionals in English. But again, that just sounds more formal. That one is what you would more commonly hear. So if you're in an English exam, stick to the rule. However, in real life, if you want to sound natural, then just do what we do. Change were for was with I, he, she, it. Trust me, no one is going to correct you. No one's going to be like,
Oh my god, your grammar's so rubbish. You said if I was and not if I were. You're stupid.
no one is going to do that, I promise. So you see, the grammar rules aren't as strict as the textbooks and your teachers might tell you. It's very, very flexible. And again, I have a few videos on this grammar. Again, you can watch them there. Who and whom. Remember these guys? Well, like I said earlier, we would only use that type of sentence to sound smart. But here's the thing. When you try to sound smart, it usually doesn't work. Whom sounds so formal that it sounds old-fashioned, so I don't recommend using it in casual daily conversation. The only real reason to use whom is like in a legal contract or very formal writing. That's it. But what is it? What does it mean? How do we use it? Whom is an object pronoun. Basically, we use whom and not who for the same reason we use him and not he. For example, she loves him, he loves her. These are the subject pronouns. The subject uses the verb on the object. The object pronouns him and her. Where does whom fit into this? Well, we could ask a question like, whom do you love? This is a whom because the answer is the object. Therefore, whom, not who. In real life, no one says this. I would just say, hey, who do you love? Because I'm normal and not weird. The only people who would correct who to whom these days are people like...
Who gets whom? I don't know why I do that.
And no one appreciates it. Like, it's not helpful. But again, yeah, you might need this for very formal writing or legal contracts, things like that. So it's important to know the meaning of it and how to use it when you need it. But just don't worry, because you will probably never use it. And again, I made a video on that. It's Harry Potter themed too. You can watch that here. Next one, stative verbs in continuous tenses. You get pizza and your friend says, how's the pizza? You say, I'm loving this pizza. Your teacher might correct this to, no, I'm loving is wrong. I love this pizza. Because verbs like emotion verbs, like love, hate, prefer, or other verbs of state, be, have, remember, forget, understand, they are stative verbs, and you shouldn't use them in continuous tenses, right? Right? I mean, that's what the grammar book says, right? So it's good. Actually, no. Again, in casual conversation, we break this rule too, the same as all the other ones. Well, the short explanation to why this and using some stative verbs in continuous tenses is perfectly okay is that when you want the listener to understand your feeling at that moment, or maybe how you're feeling now compares to other times. For example, I'm loving this pizza. This makes the listener understand your feeling at that moment. It emphasizes what you're saying. So that's fine, it's great and it's natural. We all do it from time to time. Yeah, some verbs should never be in continuous tenses. For example, so a sentence like, I'm having lots of friends. Yeah, no, that one is never good. The possessive meaning of have should never be in a continuous tense. However, that doesn't mean the verb have can't be continuous. So, for example, if your friend asks you, what's for dinner? What are you going to eat? You could say, I'm having my friends. Now it means something different, not the possessive have, but I know it's a dark example, but hopefully you'll remember. Have in this case replaces eat, right? I know it's a dark example, but now you won't forget. So when you say I'm having dinner, the verb have is in continuous, but it's fine because have replaces eat. However, the possessive have, I'm having lots of friends, no, that doesn't work because in that case, have is the possessive stative verb and that one you never change. There are way better and more full, detailed explanations and lessons for all of those points. You can find those here, and you can study those and practice and remember them forever in my ebook available on patreon.com/papateachme or my website papateachme.com. But also, which other English grammar rules do you think have changed, don't apply anymore, or just don't actually exist? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next class. Bye.